Marissa.
I'm Nick.
And this is Roberta, our 2019 Ford Transit conversion van, and we have been on the road for about 4 months now. Cool, so welcome to our van. I wanted to start with the kitchen area. We really wanted to do an open layout. We have a lot of stuff. We also love to cook, we love to eat, so we really wanted our van to have a really open feel. So with the kitchen itself, we just did, obviously, as you can see, countertops throughout everything, and then enough drawers to pretty much house all the things that we needed, as well as our fridge down here, which I'll show you in a minute. And yeah, so we can dive in. We went with a stove and an oven. We kind of went back and forth between just the stovetop and then also the oven. We do use the oven on occasion, but not as often as we had planned. But we do love having the versatility of both the oven and the stove being able to cook. We do have just some pots and pans, dishware and stuff down there. So one drawer here, our sink, which we love. Bigger sinks, the better, because they can hold a lot. You can't always wash your dishes when you want to. So going with a bigger sink and also a higher sink head really helps with our dishes as well. And then under here is just a 6-gallon gray water tank. So that's where our gray water runs into. And then we're just able to basically unscrew it and take it out. And our propane, we have like the small 1-gallon propane, and that runs the stove and the oven, and fire extinguisher and just some cleaning stuff under there. And then also all the way in the back, we do have a 34-gallon water tank, which starts here and runs all the way back through the end of the bed over the wheel well, which is really cool. So we have a set of 3 drawers here. I wanted a lot of drawers because we do, like I said, have a lot of stuff. So this drawer is just forks, knives, stuff like that, silverware. And then this drawer down here is where we have bowls and coffee gear, all of that, cups. And then this one is actually removes, which is pretty cool. This is how we fit our water tank, because our water tank does go through there, and that is just dish towels and everything like that. And then here we have a lot of cabinet space. This is something I was super big into. So this is just like toiletries, makeup, hair stuff, all of that. And then this is just, again, plates and stuff like that. And then this is where all of our dry food is. So any dry food, not heavier stuff, just because we didn't want heavier stuff up here, but all of our lighter dry food. My favorite part, we went back and forth a lot. We couldn't decide if we wanted a full bathroom, so toilet and a shower, or if we just wanted an outdoor shower and have just the toilet inside. We did wind up going with just the toilet inside. We have an outdoor shower, which we have not had an issue with at all. It's something that we love. We never have an issue showering, which is great. But our toilet is hidden. So as you can see, this comes up here. It locks into place like this. And then this opens, and our toilet's in there. So it's been really convenient. It's like I guess you could say like a half bathroom. And then we shower outside or at the gym, honestly. Then down here is where our refrigerator is. So we just have this, and then we have a leg to kind of post it up and hold it open. And then we have a Dometic Top-loading fridge, which we love. It's huge. It's half and half refrigerator and freezer. And we can fit about 2 weeks worth of food if we pack right. But if we are going to be off the grid for a week or 2, we do like to obviously have enough food for that. And we love to cook, like I said, so it's super helpful. And then inside, just a bunch of fruits and veggies, and then the freezer section as well. So we don't use the freezer as much as we use the fridge, but you can actually convert the freezer into a fridge, which is really awesome. I was working in a job that made me really, really, really unhappy for not that long after college. And I realized that atmosphere of like corporate or just kind of going along with someone else's societal norms wasn't the way that I wanted to live. So I did quit my job and I started working online and seeing this whole movement of people being able to live where they wanted to and do the things that they wanted to and just experience life together. And so that's kind of where it all started. We really just, we didn't like the typical lifestyle that we knew we could live for the rest of our lives. We only live once, and we realized that if you live your life once the right way, that's all you need. And so many people never really get to experience that type of lifestyle. So we kind of realized that together. We were like, what can we do to live life the way that we want to and still be able to work? And since we are completely remote now, both, we're still able to work, we're still able to make a living. And we then got the idea of, well, might as well build a van while we're young. We can still move in this tiny space. And so that's what really inspired us to do this, knowing that this is probably the only time that we're going to be able to get to do it. And we kind of make our own rules. So that's why we decided. You want to add anything to that?
I mean, we just had a passion for traveling.
Yeah.
We wanted to see the whole country, see as many sites as we could. So yeah, this gave us the best opportunity to be able to do so.
Yeah.
Me and Marissa designed the whole thing. And me and my dad pretty much built it from the floor up. The only thing we didn't do in the whole van is the actual windows. We had somebody install those for ourselves. But we started with the floor. We went with a laminate flooring to bring some color to it. We wanted a white feel. For the walls, we did shiplap. And then for the ceiling, we did a tongue and groove that we stained. So we bought stock cabinets from Home Depot. But when we put them in the van, they were just taking up too much space. We didn't have room to walk anymore. And they just fit on level. So we ended up taking out about 3 inches off the back, trimming the front, cutting out the sides of them so that we could fit the water tank that goes over the wheel well into it, resizing the one underneath the sink to fit the sink as well as our water tanks, and same thing with the oven to drop it down. We took it out about 2 cabinets. It's like the same one as this one over here. As well as setting up the bathroom, we bought basically just a blank white board and then used some of the old cabinet drawers and put them on to look like another cabinet that you could pull out. The whole van took about 3 months to build. We started off with installing the solar on the top, as well as inputting the air conditioning and the fan. We did run into some issues with the AC. Rained a couple times, was perfect. Then next big rainfall, we had a puddle inside the middle of the van. So we just basically resealed it and it's worked out great since then. We insulated with wool, which has been absolutely amazing. The only thing that we didn't insulate was the back doors, and that's where basically we only get a breeze and some cold air.
This is our Max Air fan. We do have a fan and an AC. We have a 50-pound husky, so we needed a lot of temperature change availability. So we have the 10-speed Max Air. You can open it, close it, and it goes, it pulls air in and also pulls air out. So it's really helpful, which is why we put it right over the oven. And it does create an awesome cross breeze, especially when the doors open and then the windows in the back are open. And then we have a 12 volt, which is awesome because we don't need to use our inverter for it. A 12 volt Frizz air conditioning unit. It runs off of evaporative cooling. So we have a tank that we just fill with water and it lasts about 8 hours. It draws barely any power, which is great. And it runs, yeah, like I said, on evaporative cooling. We have a table right here that pulls out, which is really awesome. It actually pulls out super far. And if we do pull it out this far, we have a leg to make sure that it posts up since it's not as sturdy as you would want it to be. But it's really awesome because we did use the same wood from the countertops to create the table, and then it's just hidden so you can barely see it. But this is typically where we have dinner. And then last minute, we actually decided to convert this space. It was a doggy nook for our husky, but as much as we thought she would like a den, she never went in it. So last minute, we did decide to turn it into just more storage. So we have, yeah, just some like supplements, camera gear for work, stuff like that down here. And then we also have our towels for when we shower. So that's a good place for them once they're dry. And then in here is just more facial care and cotton swabs and essential oils and that fun stuff. About 2.5 years ago, I left my career and started a digital marketing business, which we now both run full time. The business is completely online. and all through social media. So as long as we have a solid signal, which is definitely hard as van lifers, we've definitely had to move some places, but as long as our signal is strong enough to be able to do work calls, we can make our own schedule and run our entire business. And about when COVID hit, so about a year ago from when this is being recorded, Nick left his job and joined the online force with me, and now we run our business together completely online. So that's been awesome to be able to not only learn how to run a business together, but also learn how to live in a van together. Welcome to our bedroom. So we went with a full-sized bed, which gave us a lot more space in the living quarters, but it's definitely tight because our dog does sleep in the bed. And we also went long ways this way, so we built into the walls. So we do have a little bit less insulation here than you typically would in the regular, but we love it just because it does give you that extra space within the actual living space of the van. We have a memory foam bed, super comfortable, and it's 4 inches, so it's not super thick, it doesn't really get in the way. And then we'll show you later, but underneath is our entire garage is what we call it. So that's why we did do the raised bed instead of the table and seating. Then welcome to our closet. So this is Nick's closet. In here we also have our WeBoost, which takes our cell signal and boosts it to give us better service for work. And then we also have some speakers and stuff in there. And then all of Nick's closet here. And then my closet in here, which is very impressive that I fit most of my clothes in here. I do have some underneath, just some winter stuff, hats and gloves and stuff like that. But for the most part, everything fits pretty much in here. And we decided to use packing cubes. It makes things much easier and much cleaner throughout the day when you want to exchange clothes. You know where everything is because it's just in your cube. So you can take it out and it doesn't have to be this like insane mess. And then back here, we have basically just a little nook for some stuff. We have our socks back here. We have our window covers that cover the back of the windows at night. And then we also have this little bookshelf with our Kindles, which we highly recommend when you're doing van life. Can't really always bring your books. And then just some notebooks and iPad and stuff like that. And then the windows, which we love. It gives us an amazing cross breeze and it just brings in that added light during the day.
So in the back of our van, we have our garage. On the right side, we pretty much house all of our electronics as well as some of our camping stuff in the back. We did basically our whole electric system from Renogy, except for our batteries, but we have 2 100 amp hour lithium batteries over here to the right, our 2000 watt inverter over here, our solar manager, as well as our battery charger. And then in the middle here, we just house some extra clothes, some towels, and some sheets and stuff like that. On our right side, we just basically keep some extra gear that we need, our chairs, some other camping stuff, and then we have our water tank, which is underneath the wheel well in the back towards the left. So one thing we didn't really know what to do with our build was the doors. They're kind of misshaped. So the only thing we could really think of was some shoe racks. So we bought these shoe racks off of Amazon, cut them in half, screwed them in, but it's given us a lot of room to take away our shoes from inside the van, put them in the back, keep them nice and organized, as well as keep some other little knickknacks that we need to use. Well, some pros of living together in the van. We definitely learn a lot about each other. We get to experience everything together. It definitely takes some learning though. Being on top of each other, you only have 2 feet to move, so every slide, every touch, you're basically rubbing shoulders. But to help with that, we try to split up our schedule. So I'm definitely an early person, so I'll get up in the morning, kind of get the van ready, walk Kona, give Marissa a little more time to sleep, as well as get ready. We also try to like work in different areas so that it's like you're not on top of each other. You can kind of spread out on the bed. We have a swivel seat or on the bench seat here. Also, when we're cooking, we kind of try to split up. Whoever is doing the cooking that day, kind of give them the whole kitchen so they can chop, do whatever they need to do, wash the dishes, while the other person can be on the other side. Some cons are definitely like the bathroom. Everybody wants their privacy, so we try to kick the other person out of the van.
Definitely.
We have our fridge underneath our bench seat. So anytime you need to get anything out of there, you have to kick the person up off of that. We also have our dog, so that adds another person into the mix. She's great, but she can be a mess or be big and be in the way. So having such a little space on top of that, plus Kona, yeah.
Definitely something we do suggest to a lot of people that have asked us like how we do it with a significant other, is really knowing before you move into the space everything about your significant other, because we were together for 7 years and just got engaged right before we moved into the van. So we knew each other very well. We lived together for 3 years before even moving into the van. So just really knowing that person inside and out, knowing their quirks, knowing what makes them happy, what makes them angry, just so that you can live in harmony in such a small space, because it's definitely very different than living in a home together, having that space, and also having your alone time, because we're never alone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thanks so much for watching our tour. It's been super fun to be able to share it with you guys. If you want to follow us on social, we are at Her Road Less Traveled, all one word, on Instagram. Again, it's super long, Her Road Less Traveled on Instagram. And yeah, we just super enjoyed being able to do this and giving you guys the tour of our home.
Thanks. Bye guys.